because I asked it. Okay, so what you expected from Europe before you came here, and what you get? It's like when you came here, you are shocked of something, or just feel the same like you expected?
Well, the first time we came to Europe was about 10 years ago, and it was a shock. It was, one, we couldn't communicate at all. You know, we were just, at least we learned a few words each time we come over. That doesn't mean we pronounce them right, because we'll say something in German or whatever, and people look at us like we're crazy, and then they're like, oh, you mean this. And so that was the first time we came. I almost starved to death because I didn't realize you guys had any kind of food that was kind of American or whatever. I didn't catch on that you had a ton of, it's not American food, but like pizza and different Italian restaurants. So I only thought in the mindset of brats and kraut. So I don't like either of those. So it's like, it's really hard. So it was a shock when it came to eating alone. I thought I was going to starve to death.
Okay, and about European, just about people, what is difference in people?
Everyone sounds really mean, but they're probably nicer than most people we meet in the States. It's just everyone over here talks really fast and angry, it sounds like. So,
Really?
yeah, absolutely. And it's scary sometimes.
He doesn't really.
You don't. I mean, you have a smile the whole time, so you're not intimidating. But I mean, you.
I don't know.
Yeah, sounds good. Keep it quiet. I think everything was a shock to us. Often.
Okay, and the most funny?
I'll tell you
difference?
here. I'll answer your question correctly. People in Europe don't understand sarcasm the way they should. And the first time we came, we were sarcastic with everyone. Like, we were just joking around, all this stuff, and we're like, what do you mean? We're like, I mean, that's funny. It's like, why is that funny? Like, it's stuff that we use daily, right? You just kind of harp on each other. It's funny, it's fun, whatever. And they would really get offended. They're like, I don't understand why this is so funny, all this stuff. The next time we came over, those guys in that band had been working on their sarcasm, and they were hilarious. It was amazing. So everyone isn't as, I don't know, angry as they sound.
Okay, I got it. What do you think about what you expected from the tomorrow concert? And today we had a weird situation. It's sad, but it happened, and we can't figure out it. But you made great things for us to play along just without whole band, just to do something. Right. And we are really thankful for it. And how do you feel with this thing? Because we know it's a bad situation, but how you feel to do it, and how you find the strength to do this, to play along to people who are waiting for it?
We made a decision while we were still at the border to do everything we possibly could to make it here, to play, just to go on like, oh, here's a roadblock, let's go past it, what's next? It's the same way in the States. Like, we don't believe in canceling shows. Like, we're like, okay, let's do whatever it takes to get there. And that sometimes involves renting a car, sometimes it involves getting picked up by a promoter and using the locals' gear, you know, and all this stuff. So we're just kind of like, by all means necessary, let's do it. And then we show up, and because of noise ordinance and everything, we just want to do what we can. There are people there, you know, and so it's kind of like hang out. At least if there's something going on, they're more prone to hang around and talk to the bands afterwards instead of like, whoop, sorry we didn't make it, bye. I just see they waited for no reason, you know, and so it was everyone's intention today to play when we got here. But it was too late.
It was more disappointing too because we don't know when we'll be back, you know. It could be a year, 3 years, 5 years. But in the States, if we miss the show or something happens, we can always, you know, make it happen the next tour, you know, in a month or so. Whereas here, it's more disappointing to miss a show where you hear people traveled so far to come here to see certain bands, drove so far to come here, and this is our first time here, and we want to make it special for them, but we don't know when the next time is we can come back, and we can't just be like, hey, we'll be back next week, no problem, It
Okay.
could be longer or.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yes.
Hey Matt, say something.
Man, I really wish we wouldn't have to get a new band today because we didn't play tonight. It really breaks my heart that we didn't play tonight.
Carl, say something for the camera.
Hello, camera. Carl, let's do a little ground.
Juice, say hello, Juice.
Hello.
I thought I was gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's the thing. We didn't want to go too far up. Mad, dude. Just go.